Quitting alcohol is not easy, right? If it was, a lot more people would be doing it. And at 1000 Days Sober, the dichotomy that we need to wrestle with, or you need to wrestle with, and we need to help you wrestle with it, is this understanding that we're only ever going to do this thing, this big monstrous thing, taking down this Hulk Hogan of a task, right? If we want to do it for ourselves, we need to want to do it. We need to love ourselves. We need to respect ourselves. We need to value our time and what we're spending doing it in order for us to move forward and live a fulfilling life. But we also need to make this decision bigger than us, because we find it as human beings so difficult to make effective change, particularly around the area of addiction, when we do just make it about ourselves. So it's like a jigsaw piece. We need to make it about ourselves, but we need to make it much bigger than ourselves. And at 1000 Days Sober, we help you to deal with that ambivalence, to deal with that confusion, to deal with the cognitive dissonance. And I want to teach you at 1000 Days Sober to see the bigger picture, the grander view. And I'm going to share a very pivotal part of our philosophy at 1000 Days Sober. The 1000 Days Sober experience, there's an assignment on this, and it's really crucial. It's on about moderation. And what I'm about to tell you right now, you won't hear this spoken about by anybody else in this space. Okay? So take a deep breath and get ready for it. All right? Moderately drinking alcohol is a terrible thing. And let me explain why. I drank alcohol because as a young lad, the addictive system that we call life and the key players in it who were going to help grow my worldview, my belief systems, and my value hierarchy were all designed for me to drink alcohol moderately. Every advert, leaving little can of lager for Santa Claus, Jesus turning water into wine, watching your grandmas and your aunties and your uncles drinking at Christmas, taking a bottle of wine to your school teacher during the holidays. Everything is designed for you to think that drinking alcohol is a good thing. But get this. Alcohol is a drug. It's the only known drug in the world where you're actively encouraged to take it and you're ostracized if you don't. And here's the thing about alcohol as a drug. It kills 3.3 million people a year. 3.3 million people. Yet we don't see that on the news. We don't see that in front of us. Why is that? Why is that? It's because this addictive system called life has knitted together a neat little powerarchy of its own, which I call alcoholism. This invisible, violent, and dominant belief system that tells people that drinking alcohol moderately is normal and pleasurable, right? But how can it be normal and pleasurable to drink a poison, a drug that kills 3.3 million people a year and causes so much consternation and dismemberment of relationships? One of the occupational hazards that I have is every time I introduce myself to people and tell them what I do for a living, they always turn around and say to me, my mother was an alcoholic, my father was an alcoholic, my granddad was an alcoholic, my brother is an alcoholic. Every single family has been hurt or hit by this thing, yet we think it's normal, we think it's pleasurable, we think it's the best thing since sliced bread. And this is why drinking moderately is a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing because the art of drinking moderately breathes life into this invisible, violent, and dominant belief system that has no name, and that's why nobody sees it. Nobody can step out to the cave into the light because it has no name. I'm naming it alcoholism. It doesn't exist if people don't drink moderately, right? It doesn't exist. Alcohol becomes a pariah like heroin or cocaine, but because it exists, because we tell ourselves the lie that drinking alcohol is moderately is a good thing because we just can't manage to deal with our shit without it, our children, our fucking children end up drinking it. Not just drinking it, but end up craving to drink it because they just want to be like mum and dad. Think about that, okay?